Most people from Hudson County, New Jersey and New York City don't drive to go to work or school. The majority of us don't even have cars or licenses and have to rely on these beauties.
This is the Hoboken Terminal, and it has the New Jersey path that goes all the way to 33rd Street, New York, a light rail system that can get you around Hudson County, and the NJ Transit that can get you around most of the state and even parts of upstate New York, making travel for work, school, or leisure a breeze for people who don't have cars for whatever reason. People from this area don't have to worry so much about being late for any event because there is always a PATH train every 5 to 15 minutes. Those who need to travel a little further can take the NJ Transit trains that go from the bustling city to quiet suburban neighborhoods. Compare that to other places in the US like, say, Evansville, Indiana. Evansville has one of the worst public transportation systems that I've ever seen. The buses don't run constantly, they only show up every hour on the hour, and if you wanted to get to Newburgh, just the next town over, forget about it. Forget about it. If you don't got a car, you're not going. As a Jersey girl / New Yorker, it was a mockery, a slap in my face. As someone who studied in the UK and traveled across Europe, this is an outrage. The US needs to get with the times and advance in our methods of getting around just like the Europeans.
Here to vouch and add on about the outrage is another New Jersey / New Yorker girl who also lived abroad. Meet my very own soul sister, Joy. Take it away, Joy.
So I grew up in a small town. Everything was walking distance, so I never saw the need to get my license or a car. I grew up with my mom and she didn't drive, so there was no car in our house, so it just seemed like a waste of time. Getting to work is a bit of a process. I have to wake up at 4:20 in the morning so I can leave by 4:30 in the morning and walk to the first bus I have to take. It's a 10-minute walk, so once I get on that bus, it's about a 20-25 minute drive to get me to downtown, which is where I take my second bus, and that puts me right at work. There's a road that I have to walk up, it's about 10 minutes, so once I walk up that road, then I'm at work. The whole commute is about an hour and 20 minutes, which hurts because I know if I drove, it would only be 40 minutes. On a good day, the hardest thing about getting to work is waking up so early. Knowing that I could sleep an extra 40 minutes if I was driving definitely hurts. But for the most part, it's really an easy commute. It's just long. The hour and a half that I'm traveling, I can use that time to read or listen to music or just think about my day. The issue is a lot of the days aren't easy. A lot of the days the bus will leave early. I've watched the bus leave 2 minutes early sometimes and been down the block and literally watched it drive away. And at that point, I do have to Uber to work because there isn't another bus coming for another hour. There are times where buses just won't come at all, and then I'll have to Uber to work in those situations as well. And Ubering to work can be about $30, so that's quite a bit of my check. It can add up really quickly. There have been times where I've had to Uber to work 3 to 4 days a week, so that can be tough. So I've used public transportation in a few cities around Europe. There's a lot more options, and there's a lot more times. So there'll be train and bus schedules that are running from, it seems like, midnight all the way to noon the next day. They run much more frequently than the buses do in Baltimore City. They'll run in every single European city I've been to. There'll be a bus or train running at least every 15-30 minutes. They come on time, they're clean, they're affordable. So it's definitely a much nicer experience traveling in Europe than it is in the States. So I am kind of looking at traveling in the States with a sense of dread already, and I never felt that way with European travel. So it is something I wanted to note too.
As of right now, the US is way behind Europe in the transit scene, and because of this, people from certain areas such as cities cannot enjoy the great outdoors without a car. If some dare so try, they end up finding themselves out of luck.
When we were on our way there, we took the train from Hoboken and then we made it to Lotsburg Station. It's right under the border between New York and New Jersey, and that's where we got off. And we had to take a 15-minute Uber ride from the station to the garden. And then after being at the garden, we walked to a lake nearby. It was probably a 15-minute walk. And after that, we decided to take an Uber back to the station. Well, we were going to because there was no other way for us to get back. After we were by the lake, we decided to call the Uber, but there were no Uber. It was a crazy experience that we ended up walking 4.6 miles under 90-degree weather, and we ended up walking through a forest path. Other countries can provide public transportation, like accessible public transportation. I would think that the US is more than capable of doing the same thing. It's gonna be a long process of trying to get there.
True story, Paul. Though the NJ Transit did a wonderful job at getting us out of the city, we were unable to return to the train that took us to this small town in the first place because of the lack of accessibility. I mean, I visited Scotland 2 years ago and ventured into a secluded, picturesque mountainside, and guess what? There were buses and trains! So in conclusion, if the U.S. can invest in more methods of public transportation rather than funding highways and making automobiles a big thing in this country, it'd be more fair for others to get around to travel to go to work or just for leisure. Until next time, my name's Andrea. Bye.